Good evening, everybody. Shavua tov, Shavua tov. Catch your seats. No rush, don't fall. Take your time. No rush, no rush. All right. Welcome to the Religious Zionists of Chicago, Beit Cafe. After hosting really an unprecedented Shabbaton that touched 14 communities all over the place, here in Chicago and Skokie, all over, we're ending the Shabbaton tonight with 4 speakers that were brought here from Israel to answer a question with what next? You know, Zionism has accomplished really the impossible. We've revived a dead language. We've ingathered a scattered and broken people. We've made the desert blossom. We have an army again. We've done so much, and here we are now in 2015. And the question now is, after the dry bones have come together and the body of Israel is now alive again, what do we as religious Zionist Jews do to infuse the soul into the body of the state of Israel? What is the next step for Zionism? But really, what is the purpose of the RZC? What is the purpose of Mizrahi? What are we here to do? And I think the best way to answer that question is a story about one of my kids that I left behind. His name is Akiva. And 3 years old is a fantastic age because it's the first time they're able to articulate thoughts in words. And my next door neighbor in Israel, he's my brother, and he has 6 kids, Baruch Hashem. But when my sister-in-law was pregnant with her 6th, you know, we were waiting every day. His kids are in my house. My kids are in his house. Every month, she's getting a little bit larger, a little bit larger. And then finally, after 9 months, we're waiting any day now. And finally, a new baby arrives. My wife, Tehila, who's sitting here, she says, Jeremy, don't tell the kids. They'll never fall asleep tonight. We'll tell them tomorrow morning right before school. I said, okay, Tehila, that's a good idea. We'll wait till tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning comes, Tehila's making breakfast. My kids come scampering down the stairs, and Tehila turns to Akiva, then my 3-year-old, and says, Akiva, the best thing possible happened to the Gimpel family last night. And Akiva stops in the middle of the stairs and gets real quiet. You can see he's thinking. And then his eyes open up, and he says, oh, we got a kangaroo? And we had to figure out how to come down. It's not exactly a kangaroo. It's a baby. It's little, you know, because you never know what a 3-year-old is going to say, because for him, I've been waiting for this my whole life. A kangaroo, I can't believe it. And so why do I tell you this? Because it's our job as parents, as rabbis, you know, to teach the next generation what really are the most important things in life. If it's family, if it's Torah, if it's God, if it's Israel, if it's character, if it's ethics. But not only that, in chinuch, sometimes, and all parents know this, you have to repeat yourself over and over again. And so now Akiva's a little bit older. We're like, Akiva, clean your room. He comes out like, Akiva, clean your room. The next day, Akiva, am I a bad parent? What's going on here? I've told you a million times, why is your room still not clean? And we realized, hu chinuch. That is chinuch. That's why the most important messages in the Torah are repeated over and over again. Be kind to the orphan. Be kind to the widow. Be kind to the stranger. Over and over and over again. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, mishpat, utzdaka, chesed, rachmim. Over and over and over. Because that is education. What is the religious Zionists of Chicago trying to do here in this area? Is to bring Israel to the forefront of Jewish consciousness. Over and over again. If it's coordinating shlichim, bringing in speakers, hosting Shabbatons, Yom Yerushalayim. It's to not let us forget that Israel is the greatest miracle in the last 2,000 years, and all of us have a zchut, an opportunity to be a part of it. So tonight, I want to introduce the 4 speakers that we have here. The first speaker will be Rabbi Friedman, one of the greatest Jewish educators that I've ever met. Inspiring, innovative, creative. He's a Rosh Yeshiva at one of a premier yeshiva in the old city of Jerusalem, Oraita. Second speaker will be Rav Shaul Feldman. He is the CEO of Bnei Akiva, North America, in the United States and in Canada. Bnei Akiva is, of course, the largest Jewish youth movement in the world. And Rav Shaul has brought Bnei Akiva and Moshava to new levels that America has never seen before. I'll be the third speaker. I'm Jeremy Gimpel. I'm the Director of Media and Leadership Development at World Mizrahi. And the last speaker will be the new CEO of World Mizrahi, Rav Doron Perez, who built an empire out of a fractured Jewish community in Johannesburg, built up a Mizrahi community that's a model for the entire world, who now made Aliyah to Israel and is now pioneering a way to revive religious Zionism around the world. It's mamash a zchut to be working under him at World Mizrahi. And so we have 4 speakers tonight. Each one of us will speak for less than 13 minutes. All of us have a little bit, either a video, a multimedia presentation about our vision of what is the next step of the greatest project in the Jewish world today, the State of Israel, for Zionism. So I'd like to introduce Rabbi Friedman right after this one video. Because first we need to ask ourselves, really, what does it mean to be a Zionist today? If I ask the room here, how many of you are pro-Israel, everyone will raise your hand. If you ask a room of Jews, how many of you are Zionists, and you stay a little bit longer on the Z, they'll become ambivalent. I don't know, what are they doing? Is he raising his hand? What do I do? Well, what does it mean to be a Zionist today? Is it just being pro-Israel? So we've come up with a new articulation of what it might mean to be a religious Zionist today. And when we understand that, we can understand what the next step is. World media.